Hey, here we go, drop that.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to your favorite place to be. Welcome back. It's your favorite host, obviously. Thank you so much for coming in this evening here. It's 8:15 on a Friday, and wanted to chime into the markets, give you your edge, and what's good. Hope you're doing well, guys. That's pretty much it. But wanted to jump in here, guys, and say what's good. See how you guys are doing here with your crypto endeavors and just kind of more or less just kind of get in here and kind of show you guys. So give you a nice clean opening there and see if studio version works. What's good? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Studio version is working, guys. Studio version is working, and you don't even know what that means, but you can always learn. I have hope that some of you can grow a brain. Well, all right, guys, we are back here. So let me just get situated here, and we'll take you off studio mode because it is working. It is great. It is fantastic, and we're live. So always room for improvements, and that kind of thing. But a lot of people, guys, have been reaching out. A lot of different scenarios, a lot of different ways to look at some of this stuff. And I mean, I just made a video, but it was basically me just cussing everybody that watches the channel out. So I decided just to come on live because we're getting a lot of questions kind of. I feel like they're rhetorical questions. All right. I feel like they're not really questions. They're trying to figure out, is he selling? What is he doing? Is he selling his Zcash? Is he buying this? So guys, I'm not your edge there because we've been talking about the same things here on the channel for a while. And it's I think some of these people maybe just reaching the channel, guys. So you're on cryptocurrency theory, and we like to think you're always getting off the channel to maybe dive into some of the things that we're talking about and look at some things that are a bit different that people aren't going to tell you what to buy and stuff like that. We don't really want to ever tell you what to buy. For one, we're not really licensed to. I mean, that's kind of the main thing. I'm not, licensed. Obviously, you hear, oh, I'm not not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. You hear that all the time as kind of a disclaimer. But we don't really we're never telling you guys to like jump in on a particular coin or particular project because a lot of the coins that we talk about here a lot of times kind of offer the same experience, right? They kind of offer the same user experience, and they're based a lot of times on practicality, use cases, and what do we see? Where do we see this crypto market going in terms of like real value? Where is the money really going to flourish into a variety of different coins? I mean, there's so many cryptocurrencies, guys. I mean, like when I got into crypto, there was probably like 700 or 800, I think. Maybe actually, it might have been less. It might have been like I think it was 200 or 400 when I got in, and by the time I got out, there were 800. So I mean, you figure, that's just in the little world that I'm in. Before that, there was probably much less. When in 2014, I don't know how many coins there are. Maybe there was 30 or 40 different coins, projects and sorts. Some are still around, alive and well, and talking about here a lot of times. We're still talking about them. And a lot of them are gone, right? I mean, there's projects that are not even, they're literally coins that people I would say right now, and probably two-thirds, if not 90%, probably like 95% when you really start thinking about it, wouldn't even know like what the hell I was talking about, which is fine. It's not something, you're not really missing anything. It's not like, me knowing these coins, really, that's really where the edge comes in. But um, I would say I have some experience in this crypto world. I've learned that in the crypto world, guys, it's virtually impossible to time the market. I mean, unless you're a crypto exchange or you're the actual, bag holder that is preparing for, an incoming dump per se. It's pretty hard to time. So here on this channel, guys, we take a different approach a lot of times, just because the practicality of it plays out. We've seen that here on the channel here. Most recently with Zcash, but other coins, right? We were telling you guys, Stellar Lumens at some point will go up. XRP at some point will go up. And a lot of these coins, guys, that we're talking about, they will go up. They're just not, there's not like it's not really a certain day or anything like that, right? It's not like it has to do with the mathematical conditions of the coin being met, with a variety of factors, right? There's other varieties that kind of play into that, but it's really that mathematical formula to make it go there, which I try to get you guys to understand, and hopefully you guys are looking into some of this stuff here on the channel once you leave, right? It's kind of the idea. So I will say a lot of people have been asking, like I said, rhetorical questions, trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. And honestly, guys, my goal in this is to get more coins. I've actually been trying to find alternative ways, not really alternative ways. I've just been basically getting back to getting a badass fucking real estate company going, and now it's basically already happening. But I don't want to share too much about that because we're going to be making videos and you're going to see all that kind of stuff just play out. But really, on the other flip side of that coin is you start building out positions, right? Like that's what a lot of people here on the channel have done. They've been building out positions for some time, whether they've, bought their first cryptocurrency by finding the channel and finding the Zcash algorithm to find out that this is the best channel on the internet, basically, for crypto stuff. There's a few others, but it's definitely one of the top ones. The ideology that that a lot of us have in common here. People reach the channel and they're like, "Holy shit, man! I think I might be a libertarian," or maybe I'm, maybe we've found a community that they, somewhat relate to, right? Because obviously I was one of those people in crypto. In the beginning, didn't really know much. Maybe you could say I don't know much still, which would be partially true, right? We're always, there's not, we don't want to give ourselves too much credit in any area, right? And we don't want to discredit other people that we see, on the internet, even though we might think that a lot of times these people are full of crap, right? Because you can pull different, you can pull different things from a lot of these people that you see, right? Whether it's developing your own edge, right? People are more than welcome to that, even though I'm not gonna, we're not sitting here saying, oh, sell this coin today, buy this coin today, buy this coin now, buy this coin tomorrow, right? But what we have done is we build out some type of edge to the market. You guys know, I've been, kind of subtly talking about it. I'm not gonna, scream it at you guys to like make it seem like it's a marketing campaign, but I have been building out that solid whale neo position over the last 5 to 6 months. And it's massive now at this point, guys. I mean, comparatively to the size of it that it was originally at, right? What I mean by that is the size of this stuff. You can really find positions in crypto where you can build out massive positions pretty much in any environment. It doesn't really matter what environment you're in, as long as you have some money set aside for it. You're at that point, you're an investor, right? You're actually investing in the crypto world because you're actually buying coins. You're actually taking them off the crypto exchange. You're putting them in a privatized, private keys area where only you can have access to spin those coins on the blockchain. And you're really at that point untouchable. There's really nobody that can touch it, right? It's not like, oh, well, hey man, things aren't working out with my old lady, and she's divorcing me, and she's taking the car in my crypto fund, man. She's her attorneys. They got my funds on lock, right? No. See, that's the thing, guys. It doesn't matter what's happening. It doesn't matter if the government wants to knock on your door and they want to be like, hey, we know that you're doing this crypto thing and you're doing badass right now. You're so loaded with all your crypto coins that we now want to take them from you, right? FBI knocks on your door or whatever. So there's all these different scenarios, right? There's some random friend that you thought was a friend that's suddenly a thief trying to steal your coins. There's all these different scenarios, but I will say that people that have arrived here at the channel that follow the ideology of it, they basically are untouchable in their crypto portfolio, like in their own crypto world. There's nobody that can take my crypto. There's really nobody at this point. It would be virtually impossible for somebody to take all my net worth into crypto. There's literally, I have it spread out enough where it's like, there's nobody that would want to take it that I'm aware of, other than pretty much anybody on the internet. But like in my own personal circle, there's nobody that would want to take it. But in any case, if they did, or anybody on the internet, or any of these random people with the billion of different scenarios that could happen, essentially people arrive here at the channel and they find out they start building wealth. That is what people find. They find that once they hit the channel, we're actually talking about something vaguely that they understand. They learn about this stuff. They move into knowing more about it. And before you know it, I might see YouTube channels popping up with different people that suddenly are kind of gravitating towards the same goal, right? And that's increasing your buying power, aka increasing your financial bottom line, and basically becoming a crypto person, right? A crypto advocate, or crypto ambassador, I guess could be the word. We'll actually start seeing that here, I think, probably over the next couple weeks, months, simply because I anticipate the prices to rapidly start rising. The prices of some coins are very undervalued right now, and it's so funny because the entire crypto world around you will actually tell you the market's coming down and they're deterring you from buying. They're actually completely on the opposite side of what people actually should be doing. There actually should be a massive sense of urgency to get in on a lot of the coins that we've been talking about here on the channel, simply because it's better than getting in on them 10 20x from where they're at, because that'll likely be what it is that is actually going to occur. And we've actually seen this in a variety of different ways. We could go back and show you guys exactly where that's happened with various coins: Zcash, Stellar Lumens, XRP, Monero, Bitcoin Cash soon. And really nobody's even realizing what's going on. People don't realize, they're not looking at the charts. They're looking at dollar amounts. They're looking at this drop that's everybody. Well, has anybody noticed that Bitcoin Cash hit a yearly high against BTC? I didn't hear one fucking person on the internet talking about that. Not one. I couldn't find one person. I checked all the usual people that are usually making, videos about certain coins. Not one fucking person has noted that Bitcoin Cash just hit a yearly plus high against BTC. Nobody was talking about Zcash at 20 bucks. Nobody. There were literally two channels, guys. And the reason we're telling you about this is because we actually want you to do well in this space. Because see, if you do well in the space, it's great. It works. It works organically. Because then you start talking about it. You start talking about it. They start talking about it. So many people start talking about it. It actually builds somewhat of a camaraderie around a certain ideal, right? And of course, case of Zcash, it's kind of the privacy thing. Once Monero goes up, once Firo and some of these other coins go up, with people all around the world that are holding these coins, suddenly it starts to make a lot of sense. We start looking at Charles Hoskinson at the Midnight Conference in London. We start looking at, Bitcoin Cash has got a hackathon going on. We start looking at the development of these timelines of these different systems play out and become more decentralized over time. We start to notice that there's a commonality there. There's a undisputable commonality there that is undeniable. It's the most wacky but beautiful math that's potentially out there. And it's playing out in a form of money that cannot be stopped by any central authority. So this thing just keeps going, right? It just keeps looping around, looping around. Certain various coins that have, certain ideals behind them will start pumping up. They'll start bubbling up. We'll see these rushes in. But meanwhile, people aren't really realizing that some of these coins at the same time are achieving massive in terms of dollar amounts. Like look at Zcash. We were talking about it at what, like 250 million. I think it hit over a 10 or 11 billion dollar market cap recently. When it creeped up over over $700, and that's going to actually be happening like pretty readily as these systems become more decentralized and as more money flows into different parts of the crypto world. We'll start seeing these coins really start to not only go up in price but kind of develop and mature. You mean? What are we fucking talking about? We're gonna see some of these coins mature, and obviously what comes with that is massive fucking price, right? That's obviously kind of where this is all going, because at the end of the day, that dollar amount actually does matter quite a bit, and there's nothing really at the current moment to really slow it down. That's why I've been trying so hard to try to obviously, guys, me telling you about all this crypto stuff's all fine and fun, and we have a good time doing it. But really, my passion lies into getting more money into those coins that I know that are going to go up. Like I told you, my big thing recently, and I'm actually down on it, is Neocoin. I mean, I'm really, excited that I build out this massive Neo position at such a low price and literally quadrupled my holdings in that same 5-month period, which is great. And I haven't even sold any of my other coins. That's the greatest part. It's not like I'm pulling from Zcash. I'm not pulling gains from Zcash. Might be a good idea. I might look back at it and maybe that was a great idea. But I had this whole other new position built out while all this other stuff is making me, my portfolio just in my crypto bag, not even my Grayscale stuff, is up almost 500% with Zcash at $580, right? Which is crazy because that Zcash shot up to, I saw some people saying it hit 800. I didn't personally see that on the the ticker that I watched, but who knows? Maybe there were some wicks up there. Look, Zcash is going to go much higher, guys. So for, like I said, these people asking rhetorical questions, trying to figure out what it is that we're doing here on the channel, you can literally go back years and see. It's all, that's the greatest part about it, is we don't have to change anything that we've currently been doing. It's all going to play out on its own. A lot of people wonder, well, if it's going to play out on its own, why are you doing this? Well, this is why.
What is up? What is good? I hope you're enjoying the live stream. I wanted to take a moment to let you guys know, as you're enjoying the live stream, that there is several ways that you can help the channel and help the community that we're trying to build here on Cryptocurrency Theory reach a broader audience. And obviously the obvious ones are like and subscribe, but past that, what you can do is you can share the videos on Twitter X, a platform that I've been banned from for several years due to what I think is some BS. But also here on the screen, guys, I have a couple different coins that I personally love, and I hope that you love too. And if you would like to donate any cryptocurrency, guys, just know that as a cryptocurrency enthusiast, this is the best thing that you can do to support the channel. Watching the videos, liking the videos, sharing the videos, that's great too. But at the end of the day, there's nothing more exciting for me is when I get a crypto payment. And if you do give a crypto payment, throw it in the chat to let me know that you sent the payment so I can give you a personal shout out, because it means a lot and it's a lot of fun, which is the whole reason I got into cryptocurrency in the beginning, was it's a whole lot of fun getting those crypto coins and then holding them and stacking them and that kind of thing. Because every crypto I get, guys, I think of it like a wall. Every brick that I lay on that wall, I intend for them to stay there. So if you see your favorite cryptocurrency on the screen, or if maybe there's one that's not on the screen, let me know, because I'd like to add it to the screen. And let's get back to the live. Let's go.
What's good? And that was pretty much it. So what, you built a crypto so you could e-bag? As Mr. Full said the other night. No, it's not e-bagging, guys. It's just awesome. You know, it's so badass getting a crypto payment. And if you guys hold any of those coins that were on the screen, like I said, you know, there's nothing cooler, you know, getting a crypto payment, because it's so crazy. It's like one of those crypto payments came from anywhere in the world, no restriction on, you know, they might maybe they live in fucking Afghanistan where crypto is illegal, or you know, Iraq or somewhere where they, you know, some of these countries have completely outright banned crypto, and they're on some VPN watching the channel, you know, from a you know, a VPN on YouTube or something. You never know, man. So it's just really cool to get those payments. So, you know, it's not like you know, we're just having a good time here. So I just wanted to be clear on that. A lot of people in the chat have just now reached out and said a lot of valuable information. I really didn't find anything in the chat that was a waste of anybody's you know, coin. You know, all these coins that you guys are talking about are great. You know, somebody asked the question, what will be the target for Dash? Name top 5 at bottom, please. Like, I'd have to find, like, I guess we could do that real quick here. Obviously, if I was looking for coins, I've been building out a massive Neo position. You guys know I'm very bullish on the Neo project in general. I mean, like, I've been building out a massive Neo position because I found that I could. It's just a coin that I feel like is seriously undervalued. Like, I think it has all the right. It's basically like Ethereum, but better in the sense of, for one, it's way cheaper. For one, it's way fucking cheaper. Second, there's multiple computer languages you can write code and write smart contracts and all these things with. I think with this new thing where they're going to be bridging it to the EVM through a side chain, I think that's pretty cool. You know, a lot of cryptos are actually doing that. A lot of you know, side chains and this like layer 2 interoperability and things like this. It's not just specific to Neo, but I do feel like Neo in general is just way undervalued in terms of, like, if there's one coin in my, you know, a lot of people will say, well, dude, you're a BSV bull. You know, BSV's down big time. And it's like, yeah, BSV is down big time. I think BSV is going to go up, but I still think Neo at it went under $4. I think Neo right now is probably one of the most undervalued projects. Just because you can go back and look. I mean, there was the massive dump where people were saying it was the Neo Foundation, and, you know, people, you know, went back and found out that it wasn't. And there's like this whole little, you know, inner story about it. But if I had to pick 5 coins that were, you know, Fyro was definitely, I know somebody mentioned Fyro earlier in the chat, and I know Mr. Full was talking about it the other day as well. Fyro was definitely one of the top bottoms about a week ago, and it's came down, obviously. Like most of the coins, it's under $2 or at $2, but I mean, it spiked up to $5, guys, November 17th. I mean, you talk about a coin that's got some volatility. They have Fyro on a couple different blockchains as a like a token. I don't know exactly how they're doing it, but or the exact, like, I don't want to pretend that I know exactly, but I know that Fyro exists on multiple different chains, and it's a coin that's experienced massive volatility, but in all the right areas. Like, if you look at this coin, like, you could see how it could go to $100 pretty easy. And it's not just I'm pulling random coins out of a hat. Like, this has a privacy. This uses in the protocol privacy, where it basically burns the tokens every time you send them to somebody, regenerates new tokens. And somebody also mentioned Digibyte. I haven't looked at the chart recently on Digibyte, but so it's spot 247. See what it was. Yeah, so it's 100% gain just from a couple. Yeah, Digibyte. I've been talking about Digibyte, guys. It's gonna go to like probably 25 cents. and it's at a sixth of a penny. Digibyte's going to be like a 30-40x coin. Yeah, I mean, it could be like a 30 or 50x coin, right? And people might wonder, like, how did I reach that conclusion? Well, like, I mean, look at the chart, guys. I mean, the chart doesn't, look at the volatility just in the last week, really. This is November 25th, right? November 25th. No, this is fucking, what am I looking at? November 25th. Why is this, fuck? Yeah, I don't know what's up with this fucking chart. Why does it say, oh, it's 25. Sorry, I was reading it wrong. It's November 5th. November 5th. So, you know, 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks ago, we were at literally 100% up from here. That would be scary if this coin just came about and there was some marketing campaign on Twitter X talking about it being the new hottest meme token. We're talking about a coin that's been around since 2014. Okay, we're talking about a decade-old coin. And a lot of people have been begging me for the last couple months to make a Digibyte video, but I don't really think there's a need to. I mean, like I said, guys, I could disappear in like, it wouldn't matter. Like, all this stuff is going to play out regardless. You know, like, I was thinking, you know, weeks ago, hey, we need to make some more Zcash videos. This thing's going to explode. And, you know, I even reached out to the Zcash Foundation to try to get, you know, some funding, right? Because I knew this was going to happen, guys. I knew it. I mean, I really did. And I was trying to get, you know, I saw opportunity there, but, you know, it didn't really play out in my favor. But, you know, at the same time, you know, the sky's the limit on a lot of this stuff. I mean, Zcash alone, like I said, has brought up my portfolio like almost 500%. I mean, that's just one coin. And that coin was, in terms of dollars amount, was similar to like Bitcoin Cash, BSV. I think it was a little under Bitcoin Cash actually. And then, you know, it was like around Dash, you know, the same dollar amounts. So, yeah, Neo is not on Coinbase. In fact, I believe the only place you can buy Neo is crypto.com, which if you guys have been on the channel for a while, you know I fucking hate crypto.com, honestly, because it's just, I know there's some people sitting there going, because of the Monaco token, you know, they're like, they knew what I was going to say, but at the same time, you guys know I don't really like crypto.com, but unfortunately, it's the only place that I could find that had N3 Neo tokens. And I've been sending those to my wallet, my Neo Line wallet, and I've been getting gas generation. And one of my friends actually asked me, hey, dude, can you do a video on gas generation? Like, how do you get gas generation? And I do need to do a video on that. The only problem with that is, you know, we really haven't made it an effort to, but you can go to neo.org and it will walk you through it too. So, you know, shout outs, bro. I know you're making mad money on your Zcash and mad money on, you will be making mad money on your Neo, but I just haven't had time to do a video for that. But it's pretty easy. I mean, if you go to neo.org, you basically, you download a Neo wallet that is compatible for gas generation. You basically leak your public key to a smart contract address, which then gives you the voting capabilities, and you will go through and I'm voting on the Burger Swap because it is a higher yield than some of the others, and you basically just start immediately getting gas generation. And you know, obviously, guys, with the price of Neo being down and the price of gas token being down, that gas generation is essentially worthless because both of the tokens are down. But for my case, I'm actually really bullish on Neo regardless of the actual current price. So for me, I'm not worried about it. I'm just getting gas generation because I was proved in 2023 that even the most random coin like gas token can be your top performing coin in your portfolio. And like I told you, had I just been, you guys, I told you this before, but for new people watching, had I just been all in on Neo and gas the entire bear market, I could have sold my gas alone for over 100,000 US off free gas generation. I did the math on it for the 3 years that I would be holding it with that portfolio at that specific date and time. And I looked at the gas generation. I went back and looked at the history of it, obviously, because it's all public public information. And I did the mathematics on it when it spiked up to $22. I think it was November of 2023 when the market was basically just fucking crickets. I would have literally had over 100K in just free cash generation. I could have literally dumped that and bought like 10 to 20 times the amount of coins that I currently have. So that's why I'm bullish on gas generation in terms of Neo. I've seen this type stuff play out. I don't care if I don't care if Neo goes down in price. Like if it goes down under $4 again, I'll just buy more. I've bought it at much higher prices. We're at the lower lows recently, and I actually have not bought any under $4. So just FYI for people that are always wondering. But I am getting that gas generation, and me being bullish on a coin that nobody is talking about. Again, a lot of people have reached this channel because of the Zcash run. We were one of the only people talking about it. Now there's crypto people on YouTube talking about it every fucking day. And it's like, I don't even want to talk about Zcash anymore. I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to watch it go up, and things are going to be badass. So let's see what some people are saying. AVAX, Chainlink, Algorand, Near, ICP. I think Near is actually really good. They're doing something with Zcash. We talked about it. I don't really kind of drawn a blank really at the moment, but under NAV right now because people sold Boss Twins Treasury Company stock. Yeah, it's a possibility. But the space station stock for the Crypto Gemini exchange, I was looking at it. It wasn't up every single time Zcash was like barreling up. I mean, it did obviously go up. The Winklevoss twins are large holders of Zcash. It trades on their platform, on their exchange. But, at the same time, it wasn't up like every single day that Zcash was just plowing up, going up thousands of percents in less than 2 months. These things are kind of correlated, right? Obviously, a lot of people that were trading Zcash on Grayscale, like a lot of people can't even buy it because it's not even on their brokerage. So it's like, there's different things that you could look at different ways. It's not really, 100% to say like, it's this one specific thing. I don't really think I even saw Zcash going up as fast as it did. I mean, I knew it would go up to those numbers, but it was kind of a random fluke. I mean, it was kind of weird how I was actually trying to get Zcash funding through the Zcash Foundation, through their public grant. If you go back and you look at the GitHub, you'll see my little application there, trying to get funding kind of before Zcash really barreled up. So I mean, it kind of was a random fluke, but at the same time, obviously there has to be a narrative that makes sense to people in the crypto community, because a lot of the crypto community, the narrative that they're believing doesn't make sense to us being crypto people. So it's like, we have to have something fall in line where it like makes sense to us, where we're like, okay, that's cool, or okay, that's great. Because if it doesn't make sense to the real crypto people, then what is who's really holding this thing up? Who's really really the roots of this thing? And I'm not saying I'm like, the big bad Zcash guy, but yeah, I mean, I've been supporting this coin for a long time. We kind of expected it to go up here on the channel, and I saw opportunity in it. I was trying to get some funding for it because I really wanted to hype it as it was about to go up. And like I said, you guys can do this too. You guys can, if you want, if you guys are on the dev side of stuff, a lot of these people, for certain projects, they don't even really get paid. It's all just kind of community support and driven and stuff like that. And they might, they could go over to the Zcash Foundation and sign up for a grant, and suddenly they're, they got people from great communities going over to Zcash to further improve the community, therefore kind of, being a symbiotic relationship between people in various communities. I think it's pretty cool what they're doing over there, guys. So just FYI, anybody can submit a Zcash Foundation grant. I mean, I did it twice and got denied. I actually was hopeful, though. I actually thought I was going to get the first one, which literally blown my mind, because it would have literally been, I say blow my mind because like I said, I wasn't expecting Zcash to hit those numbers as fast as it did. You know, obviously, and I'm sitting here, not really feeling a lot different. Obviously, you know, it feels good to watch the coins that you hold go up, and at the same time, you'd be surprised that it really, it's a game changer, but at the same time, it's like we were kind of like expecting it at some point. So when it like actually goes there and you're believing something that long, when it actually happens, you're just kind of like, well, you know, I pretty much was thinking that, so it's you're not so surprised when it happens. But I was surprised of the speed or the what is it, the momentum it achieved in such a small amount of time, to cause it to swell up to that 11 billion, $12 billion market cap, sitting at over, like I said, 750 US dollars. So a lot of people have came down to the chat here in the last couple minutes. Let's see what they're saying. I did see that number tip up. Hey, this video sucks. What's good, man? I saw your question, or not question. I saw you talk about Zen the other day. Yeah, let's look at Zen. Let's look at Bitcoin Cash. Let's look at, I mean, I'm not going to look at every single one of those coins, Farasha, not because I don't think they're good. I actually do think all those coins, I do think all those coins that you just mentioned, though, do have the possibility of definitely achieving all-time highs fairly quickly in a small allotted time frame that exists somewhere in the future. I just don't know exactly when, and I'll probably be off here in a few minutes, so we'll look at a few coins that we usually look at. Yeah, man, we appreciate you guys. Yeah, let's look at BSV. Legend, of what's good, man? Haven't seen you in a while. You know, Legend, I actually have I went back and I liked all the comments on the channel. You know, as you guys know, I stopped reading a lot of comments for a while because, and I might, you know, there might be a point in time where I do the same thing, because a lot of rhetorical questions here have been arising over the last few weeks, and I don't like my brain to be convoluted with something that's not my reality in this stuff. So, but anyways, Legend, I had your comment pinned all the way from 4 months ago, because so you're kind of like that boundary of new comments that I read when I'm, you know, looking on my phone to see what people say. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities right now in crypto, guys, and most people are kind of like sitting on the sidelines, like kind of like complaining, like, oh well, like there's not a lot of you know, crypto's down right now. Like, yeah, people are down if they bought BTC in the last year, mostly. 42% of all wallet addresses that bought XRP over the last year are down too. But like, it's not really fair to say that, right? We're looking at Bitcoin Cash here on the screen here, and when you look at log chart, like, you know, it's pretty clear to me that like 3 to 4,000 could happen within a 20, 30, 21 day, 30-day window, right? You know, it's not really, it's also not fair to say that that's going to happen like now, right? It's not fair because I don't know, but it was, you know, it was on the docket. And I unfortunately, for some reason, the World Coin Index, where I typically pull the prices on Bitcoin, it wasn't loading earlier for some reason when I selected it to BTC. Let's see if it's working now. Okay, yeah, it's working now. So let me I did tell you guys earlier on in the live stream, I think I mentioned it. Bitcoin Cash did hit a yearly high. It looked like a yearly high to me on the charts. Let's see here. Yeah, so it hit a yearly high today, I believe, maybe yesterday. I think it was today, actually. Yeah, so it hit a yearly high today against BTC. We have it switched from dollars to Bitcoin Core. So it charts the change in BTC price against Bitcoin Cash. It hit a yearly high. There's also, you know, things that have happened with Bitcoin Cash recently and ongoingly that would suggest that there is some pinned up demand here, right? Look at this chart. This one's going to scare a lot of people. It's okay. don't be scared, guys. Don't be scared. Because I've seen these charts too. I've seen these charts, like this is a really scary chart for people to look at, right? It's like, dude, how could you tell us to buy Bitcoin Cash? It's literally trending down against BTC. But like what a lot of people don't realize, guys, is if this were an ERC20 token, if this was a Solana meme token, if this was another token with none of the elements that we're not going to discuss this evening, I would say yes, you're indeed run from this coin, run from this coin. But there could be a moment in time where Bitcoin Cash is worth a tenth of Bitcoin. There could be a time it's worth 0.2 of a Bitcoin. There could be a point in time where it's worth above a Bitcoin. I mean, look at everything that's happened in Bitcoin Core here recently with Bitcoin Knots in the Bitcoin Core 30 upgrade. It gets a bit weird. It really does get a bit weird because a lot of the trajectory and stuff that BTC was following Bitcoin was kind of counterproductive to their the memo on why nobody got into BSV. And again, I'm not going to go into all that. There's too much to cover in just a little live stream, but the information's out there, guys, for yourself. You know, it's all there. You know, so it's weird to see Bitcoin BTC Core like years after implement some of the things that Bitcoin SV has done or Bitcoin Cash is doing, or you know, vice versa, because it only kind of reaffirms that there's still, you know, the possibility factor for not only Bitcoin Cash but really a lot of coins, is that, you know, you can't rule it out. You know, you can't rule that Bitcoin Cash is, you know, worth $500. You know, you can't rule out that it's going to be worth 5,000 or, you know, 50,000, right? You can't rule it out because it's not just like a token that's built on top of a blockchain that people are hyping. You know, it's like it's fucking Bitcoin, dude, but better. You know, it's like it's just way cooler. Like, I mean, like, try using it yourself. Craig did it right with somebody, some big YouTuber. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I have not seen him in a while. What's up, Alan? Welcome back. Bitcoin Gold has pretty much unraveled. Bitcoin Gold is kind of the exception. It does use a different algorithm than Bitcoin. It uses, I believe, an Equihash. And we've made a couple Bitcoin Gold videos, like I think maybe 2. But Bitcoin Gold is in its own world, man. It's probably in trouble, I would say. The reason it's in trouble comparatively to other versions of Bitcoin was there was an exploit that was purposely put there that allowed Bitcoin Gold founders to basically, I think they kind of ended up fucking themselves because a lot of people kind of bailed on it. Bitcoin Gold was kind of the one Bitcoin fork that, well, I mean, there were actually several. There was Bitcoin Private, there was Bitcoin, what was it? Bitcoin HD. There were a few when I got into crypto, a few versions of Bitcoin. But really, the only 2 that I would buy are Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV. Honestly, I mean, those would be the only 2 that, you know, I would buy. We you know, Bitcoin Gold, when we were talking about it, was actually kind of trending along with this trajectory of a lot of the altcoin market. But Bitcoin Gold really is, you know, it's gone down pretty bad. I mean, it's $1.82, guys. I mean, that's like me trying to convince you to buy Bitcoin Cash if it's like $10. Like it would, you know, or Bitcoin SV was like $1. Like at some point, something went wrong here, right? And a lot of the Bitcoin Gold has been delisted, and you know, people could argue and say, oh, well, Bitcoin, you know, SV was delisted too, but it's kind of a different thing, right? Like if you look into Binance and that whole thing on why, you know, it really got delisted from Binance, and then how they tried to put futures back on there with Bitcoin SV, it was all a little wonky. So, you know, you don't want to rule anything out, obviously, Bitcoin Gold. But, you know, what's funny about Bitcoin Gold is I was looking at it the other day, and on the 6-month chart, it's actually even funnier because it went down to 70 cents, under 70 cents, and then it's experienced massive price action up to almost $4. I don't remember it hitting $4 recently. because I look at I look at all these coins, guys. So, but I do remember it over $2, and maybe we could see it on the 3-day chart, or maybe it was one. I think it was under $2, but it was near it. And that's like a like a 200-300% gain. But like, how are you timing a bottom when the coin has literally fell so much? I mean, it's literally, um, you know, it's lost all its market cap, guys. I mean, it's very obvious. I'm just gonna cut to it. I mean, it's lost all its market cap. Bitcoin Gold. Maybe if you bought Bitcoin Gold now, maybe you have a chance. But like, if you were holding Bitcoin Gold from like $500, it's a $13 million market cap, guys. So something, at some point, it would be ludicrous for me to be like hammering Bitcoin Gold as like a potential Bitcoin option for the future. It's not. It's a failed fork. Some people will say Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV are failed forks, but Bitcoin Cash is at number 10, I think. Spot number 11. It's got a $10 billion market cap. And it's been around, in a few more years, it'll be a decade old. Bitcoin SV, a little bit smaller, a little bit more rogue community in terms of market adoption. Sitting at spot 100, which is kind of funny because wasn't it at spot 130 recently? I think Bitcoin SV has risen in the ranks, which is not surprising. It's at 419 million dollar market cap. It could easily go to $40, $50, and be a billion. At that point, we'd definitely be on the top 100. But what if, what if it does climb aggressively, to spot 20 or 21? It might be worth looking at. I mean, that's literally like a 10x from where it's currently at 21, $22. So it'd be, 20x from there, right? So, I mean, there's possibilities in this stuff, guys. I mean, you don't want to rule anything out. But yeah, I think Bitcoin Diamond is definitely dead. I mean, I think that is, it's like, it'd be absurd for me to even cover it, really. But I did see it drop. I did see Bitcoin Gold drop. We kind of didn't really highlight it. Nobody really here on the channel was really following anything that we were talking about with Bitcoin Gold, I don't think. You never sell Monero. I won't sell any of my coins, man. Honestly, at this point, I'll sell off some of my Grayscale stuff, especially since Bitcoin Cash is so close to BCHG NAV, and I have a massive fucking Grayscale position. I'm definitely dumping that, but I'm not going to sell the actual coin. Yeah, we can look at Horizon. So Horizon is actually a fork of Z Classic, which we're talking about forks this evening. So Zen Token, I believe, is a fork of Z Classic. Z Classic, I believe, is a fork of Z Cash. There was also another fork in between the Zen and Z Classic fork, I believe. I don't remember exactly where the timelines are on that. You have to look it up, but it was Bitcoin Private, which was a snapshot of the blocks between Bitcoin and Zcash, or I'm sorry, Z Classic and Bitcoin for the Bitcoin Private fork. It's another failed fork of Bitcoin, but nonetheless, you could probably find some DEX out there still trading it. But yeah, what was the question? Zen comments on Zen. So yeah, that's Horizon. So for people that didn't know that about Horizon, is actually a fork of Z Classic, which is a fork of Zcash. So let's see what this says here. Maybe it says about the fork here. I'm just curious. Zen to Base. Yeah, and I think JP Morgan just launched their stable coin on Base. FYI. If I remember that correctly, I was reading it the other day, but not completely sure on that. A migration to Base, seeing portal is open, Legacy Horizon main chain, you can claim it on Base now. So have to look more into that. I don't know enough about it to try to tell you guys about it. I don't follow every single one of these communities, guys, but Zen Token is a privacy focused token. And like I said, it's a fork of Z Classic, which is a fork of Zcash, which I guess technically Zcash is an implementation of Bitcoin, kind of, but with different algorithms. So I guess it's a code fork, maybe the terminology, maybe. Well, maybe if I pulled it up, maybe that would help, right? So that's kind of the thing with Zen. Let me check out the chart. The chart looks like it's good. I mean, it's at $12 right now. It'll probably definitely break 100 for sure. Probably pretty fast. Maybe here in the near term, we might continue to see the privacy route happen with a lot of these coins where we start seeing ZK start, tokens rally, and then we also see like, we kind of already seen it. I mean, Zen token is up. It's been up with Zcash for the last couple weeks, right? It's been like one of the coins going up with like some of the privacy stuff. I don't know the 3-month chart, but yeah, it's up. I mean, it's definitely up from $6. It's double the price it was back in September. So yeah, I think Zen's got definitely Zen token has some room to run. Obviously, you guys taking that off the crypto exchange and putting it in your wallet would definitely help that price go up. Just FYI. Yeah, I mean, I think it will. I mean, it kind of has been following Zcash. I mean, Zen token's been a top performing coin here recently. I mean, obviously it's spot 153. It's not a massive market cap coin, but it's still on the top 200. Coins that are on the top 200, once you start getting like, let's see where Digibyte's at. Like, nobody's talking about Digibyte. It's like so funny. 244. Is there anybody on YouTube talking about Digibyte other than somebody like just clickbaiting people, like doing their monthly video on Digibyte? Probably not. Zen token, a little bit different story. Zcash, a little bit different story because obviously the price recently has been pretty good. So anytime a coin, especially Zcash, riding to spot number 13 now, a $10 billion market cap, obviously, it's going to turn heads. If we start seeing, just like if we were to see BSV climb to spot, if BSV doubles, it's going to be at spot 60. It'll be right back here on the top 50 coins, which is kind of weird. A lot of these coins have fallen that we kind of knew were dog shit coins. It's funny. Like, let's look at some. Like Book of Meme. Remember this fucking meme token? Look at this. I mean, it's still 343% up, but from what? Like, from when it wasn't even able to be purchased, this is when it was on all the exchanges. This is when people bought it, not down here. So yeah, maybe some people are up 343% if they were, in the back room starting this coin. But see what I mean? Like, a lot of these coins that we knew were dog shit, they're exactly where they should be, right? They're exactly, I bet I could go to spot 300 and I could see fucking probably a bunch of coins. Maybe not a bunch. Let's just see. So surprisingly, I don't notice it. I don't see any. Here's Xano. Some people have been talking about Xano on the internet. It's up as well. This is a coin that we didn't really, we were being talked about. We were getting told about Xano kind of down here, and I was kind of like, well, it's already up. It's maybe I'll wait. I did the same thing with Caspa. Right, Xano kind of was up here. We're kind of getting some Xano people talking about Xano. I think like people like Roger Beer, and like some people, right here, like talking about Xano. Get dropped, and then yeah, I mean, we didn't really look into Xano, not because we didn't think it was a good coin. I mean, I didn't expect it to go up this fast either. The thing with Xano was like, we were kind of strapped on cash in this period, guys. I really didn't have any money to invest in new coins back in 2024. I've only recently been able to really increase some coin positions here over like the last 6 months, right? So I don't want to say Xano is not a great coin. It's just like we didn't talk about it because we weren't really buying any coins right here. We didn't have any money to buy Xano at $3, right? It's up 400%. I'm sorry, 300% up from where it's currently at $4. It's at $14 approximately. So Xano. One of the cool things about Xano that I do think is really cool is the private stablecoin that has a loose peg to the dollar. I mean, it's I think we can look it up. It's called Freedom dollar. Yep, freedom dollar. So, it's kind of a new thing. It's not a I don't want to say it's tested, try and true. We have to see time progress for us to really be good. But usually, like stable coins, if they're not gonna work, they usually depeg pretty quickly, right? We've seen that with like various coins, like either it pegs or it doesn't. This one's pegged to Xano, or I'm sorry, this one is correlated or not correlated. This is built on Xano. It is a private stable coin. So literally, it's on a couple different exchanges where you can buy just straight freedom dollar, which is cool. Xano has actually expanded quite a bit too in terms of where you can purchase it. That was another reason I was a little bit hesitant on Xano at first, because it was only available on Mexi, which we saw a lot of the scams with memes, right? We saw that Bitmark, some of these DigiFinex. We've seen some like scammy coins on some of these exchanges, which was kind of deterring me from looking more into Xano just because we were so strapped on cash. It really wasn't an option to even invest in it, so we kind of just took a kind of a naive, pessimistic look on something that we probably should have looked more into. Because, like I said, it's up 300% from when we were like thinking about buying it. I mean, I was really thinking about buying some Xano down here, and even when it dropped, I was looking at getting into it. But we had some things going on. Remember, we were trying to find a job. We hadn't worked in a while, and I was, contemplating moving out of that house down in Mexico that I was paying for. There's not really a reason for me to pay for it. It was unneeded space I didn't need. So there was a lot of different things that kind of like made us miss this Xano position we probably would have looked more into and bought, because I've looked into Xano now. Now I think it's obviously, it's been around, guys. I mean, it's a look at the chart here. It's a privacy coin, right? And that's kind of why it's kind of going up or whatnot. But the freedom dollar thing is pretty cool. It's a private stable coin on Xano. It's the only one that I know of for a privacy stable coin. So, but yeah, I don't really recognize any of these coins. Let's see here. Verge, here we go. Another privacy coin. Up recently as well. It's up 40, almost 50% for the month. But yeah, I mean, Verge is another scary one to look at in terms of like, oh my God, look at the chart. Well, yeah, look at the chart. When you switch it on log, it seems like a pretty legit form of money, especially if it's private, right? So I don't own any of these coins, guys, necessarily, but at the same time, ZeroX Protocol, ZRX, Raven Coin. Some people here watch the channel are into Raven Coin. Raven Coin's gonna recover, dude. I think it's literally gonna go. It's gotta go. It's gotta go damn near 20x just to break even. If people bought it at the very top, right? Like, but I'm not ruling all these coins out. I mean, like I said, they're still sitting on the top 300 coins, right? They're still sitting here. Nano. This is actually, guys, what's funny is people always talk about transaction cost. This is the cheapest coin for spending in terms of fees. People are always talking about, oh, well, the fees are, people are talking, oh, the BSV fees are rising. Bitcoin Cash fees have gone up a bit. Bitcoin fees are the reason Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV exist. This coin right here, Nano, is the cheapest fee out of any coin on the market. I still think today, and correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe there's some that are cheaper, but like I said, it's still a top 300 coin. And when you start looking at some of these coins, a lot of these coins I just skipped that I didn't say, guys, they're no-name coins. They're heading to zero at some point. They're gonna go to zero at some point. There's Baby Doge. This was kind of a meme coin that was happening for a bit of time. Like, look at the volatility on that. That's crazy, huh? Crazy. Log chart looks exactly the same. So who knows? Some of these coins, like, some of these could really take off. They still have $119 million market cap, which of course, guys, we know that those aren't really exactly what those numbers mean. But at any case, Sushi Swap, Sneck. This was kind of I think it's a Solana meme token people are talking about. Oh, look, somebody made a little non-playable coin. Look, there's our little emoji. The fuck? Taking my ideas. NPC coin. It's funny. Uniswap, Radium. So yeah, these are trading at like random places. So it's like, you know, it's just this funny stuff here. Look, you got the same little NPC guy. So, I mean, this is all garbage, really. I mean, this is not really, once you start getting down here, but there are maybe some hidden gems in here, right? Or a VThor token. You remember when this was rallying with VeChain? You guys know that, yeah, I bet a lot of people in the VeChain community that hold VET don't even know what VThor token is, which really shows how like way off, you know, a lot of these people are. Siacoin. Looks like they got a new little graphic on their ticker there. I mean, look at that, guys. It's crazy. Right? It could go to 10 cents. Realize the gain, right? It's already 3,400% up. All right, guys. I think that'll wrap it up. We went through some stuff here. We're kind of getting into no man's land now that we're getting past the 300s, and of course there are some hidden gems here, but we're not going to spend all night on them tonight. I don't think anymore. But yeah, all right, guys, we'll catch you later. Take care.